another topic that is on inside your routing algorithm itself, but it is a concept inside your network layer under your control plane. The new topic name is BGP. Moving towards the next slide, let's see how the BGP is going to be helpful for us for the like inter AS routing. So what is the full form of your BGP? That is nothing but that is your border gateway protocol. This border gateway protocol, as the name is suggesting, you can see that as the name is there, like gateway protocol. So definitely it is going to have some of the connectivity towards your gateway. So whenever you are going to write the answer about the BGP, so please find out the full form of that. Any topic, whenever you are writing, find out the full form, and from the full form itself it will be easy for you to remember the concept, because the computer networks is a very vast course and you cannot remember everything in detail. So you should find out some keywords, how where you are going to remember the concept behind this. Okay, so here as we are talking about BGP, that is nothing but your border gateway protocol. So here it is going to be working out on inter domain routing protocol. So here what it will do, as the name is here as inter domain routing protocol, definitely it is going to hold the internet together. And also what it is going to do, it will allow all the subnet. Okay, suppose if you don't have any of the IP address, you are not finding out, or subnet address, so you want to reach over your destination. So that time how you are going to reach? So you should have all like the subnetting address and all. You can advertise all these things. Once you will advertise all these things, then what you are going to do is you can find out the destination over your internet. Okay, so here to reach over your internet, who will help you? The BGP will provide you, right? Like it is going to helpful for you. Okay, so now you can see here what are the things it is going to provide. So here the thing is that the first AS, what is that? AS, autonomous system. So here this autonomous routing system, it is going to provide some of the things. What is the first thing? That is eBGP, and the next one is iBGP. You should understand the meaning of this. Now eBGP, in the sense, it will obtain all the subnet address. Okay, it will obtain all the subnet address wherever it is going to send the information, or if it is going to reach out with the informations from your neighborhood nodes, then it will take the help of your eBGP, where it can take the help of your subnet addressing, and it is going to reach to your neighborhoods. Now what is the meaning of your iBGP? iBGP is nothing but it is going to propagate all the informations inside your AS internal routers. Okay, so inside your internal routers, it will propagate all the information so that no information can be fired out or can be lost, and it is going to reach your destination properly. So to find out the good routers, how it can route in a proper way, and how all the informations can reach with the destinations, all these things this BGP is going to provide, because it is a border gateway protocol. So here you can see I have the diagram where you can see the connectivity of your eBGP and iBGP. So here there is some three networks. So first network will be your AS1, autonomous system 1, AS2, AS3. So here individually there are some of the nodes or routers has been provided. So here 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. Similarly here also some of the nodes has been provided. So what is happening here? You are going to exchange the informations in between them. So wherever the blue color dotted lines are there, that is known as your iBGP connectivity. Okay, so within the internet, within a network, if you are going to send any of the information in between the network, that kind of connectivity is known as your iBGP. But if you want to connect towards your outside of the network, the red color lines you can see over here, that is known as your eBGP. So there is a difference between eBGP and iBGP. Always I will work inside the network and E will work outside of the network. Okay, so now here you can see 1C. Okay, this is a router, and now this is going to send some of the informations towards the next network. So what it is going to do, how it is going to send, suppose 1C wants to send the information to 3A. How it is going to send? First, what it will do, it has to take the help of both the connectivity. So first it will take the help of your eBGP and it will send the informations towards your 2A, and then the 2A will take the connectivity of iBGP and it will send towards 2C. Then the 2C will take the help of your eBGP and send to your 3A. Now the information has been reached from 1C to 3A. So whatever we have read in the last slide, 2 points. So it means that it has to check this eBGP and iBGP has to check the reachability information from one place to another place. So that is known as your connectivity, iBGP connectivity and eBGP connectivity. Now, if I want to go the basic things of your border gateway protocols, what will be there? Okay, suppose here how the session will start and how they are going to send the message, how the TCP connection will be established in between them. Let's see all the things here. So here I have two BGP routers, okay, that is my peer-to-peer connectivity. So if anything is my peer-to-peer connectivity, then I'm going to exchange my all the BGP message over that semi-permanent TCP connection. What is that semi-permanent TCP connection? It means that the connection will get established till the message will send. Once a message has been sent, the connection is going to be disconnected. So that can be happen inside your peer-to-peer architecture. And here also it is going to advertise all the variety of paths whenever you are going to fix any kind of your destinations, and whenever you will give any kind of your destinations, you need to prefix it. It means that you have to write like your IP address, your mask, subnet mask number, destination address, all the prefix things you need to add and you are going to send it. So now suppose here you can see what happened. I'll just go back again. You can observe once again. Here I'm going to add one more router, okay, inside this AS3, okay, in this network. So what I'm going to do now, when AS3 gateway, okay, AS3 gateway, 3A advertises, this 3A will advertise path AS3, X. Why it is like that? Because 3A is connected with 2C. There is no other routers which has been directly connected towards the another network. So 3A has been connected. So whenever we have added one more router over to this network, it has to be advertised. Advertised in the sense it has to send the informations towards your other networks. That time what you are going to do? This 3A has to be advertised. So how he is going to advertise? I told you that you have to add the prefix. So here this network name is AS3 and what is the router name? X. So this AS3, X, both the things, this is a path name, are going to advertise towards your AS2. So inside your AS2, with whom it is going to advertise? With 2C, because 3A is connected with your 2C. Now next what will happen? This AS3 will promise to AS2 that we are going to forward many datagrams from the X. Okay, so it is going to send along with that message. So that is your like BGP basics, how it is going to work out. Now here you can see there is some attributes and some routers are there where it is going to be added up and it is going to be sent. Whenever you will send any BGP message, you have to send with some prefix things, right? So here the prefix you have to add and along with that you have to add the attributes. So here prefix in the sense the destination where it is going to be advertised, that things you are going to write. What do you mean by these attributes? Again, these attributes will have two things. One will be your path name, another one will be your next hop. So what is this path name? here in this AS path name, there will be the AS will have the list of paths. Okay, so which path, by using which path you are going to transfer your or you are going to advertise the node, that you are going to write it properly. Next hop, in the sense, it will indicate you that from your AS router to which router you are going to hopping, so that you are going to mention. So these things are your BGP advertising route. So there is some policy where you need to know about that policy. That is your policy based routing. So here you need to import some of the policy. Whenever you are going to route the advertisement, you need to import some of the policies. And what it can also send that, it can accept also, it can decline also. Now in the previous diagram we saw AS3 is sending towards AS2. Now AS2, if doesn't want to take the advertisement, it can decline the path also. So that kind of policy has been mentioned over here. Okay, so one more second point is there. AS policy also determines whether to advertise the path uh, to other neighboring AS. It will show that whichever the othering neighbors are there where you want to advertised. Okay, that also it is going to be mentioned. Now you can see over here how the PGP path advertisement used to occur. So now here what happened is, here you can see I have three networks, AS1, AS2, AS3. So 3B and 3D has been connected by using your IBGP. So here you are going to send AS3 with this add-on router, that is X. So here what it is going to do, this one has to be received over 2C. So 2C will receive the path advertisement as AS3, X via your eBGP, because this connectivity is known as your eBGP. Inside the connectivity is known as your IBGP. So these things will reach from your AS3 via your router 3A. So now if I'll go for the next line, you can see how it can send the how it can propagate all the packets. So once it will reach over 2C, it will have some connectivity. It can send to 2B, it can send to 2A, it can send to 2D. Now based on the AS2 policy, they will have their policies, right? Based on that network policy, the 2C has been accepted this advertisement, but now where it is going to propagate, that they need to decide. Okay, so here they will use the concept of IBGP, because this is eBGP. Inside that they are going to use the IBGP. Once they have sent it to here, you can see how the path they are going to decide. There is no direct connectivity from 2C to 2A, so it cannot connect. And there is no connectivity, there is a connectivity from 2C to 2B, but from 2B to 2A there is no connectivity, so they cannot use that also. Next, what is going to happen? They can send from 2C to 2D, which is connected from 2D to 2A. So by using that path, it is going to send. Now it is going to send to your AS1. So whenever it has been came from your AS3, advertisement was AS3, X. Now once it is sending towards AS1, this AS2 also getting added up as an advertisement. So what you are going to write, AS2, AS3, X, because you are going to send these X nodes datagrams towards suppose AS1. So you are going to send in this way. So next what will happen? Suppose if you have already the direct connectivity, instead of sending through this gateway, you can send directly from AS3 to 1C. That is known as your multiple paths destination. You will have the multiple paths. Wherever you want to send directly, you can use that path also. See here, it can send directly AS3, X. Okay. So which one will reach first inside your A1C? It will accept that, and the other things it is going to be discarded. So that also depends. Okay. So here once it will reach, it can send to any way. Okay. So now moving towards the next one, how we are going to exchange the message by using BGP message concept. So here we have, as I told you, that this BGP message is nothing but you are going to exchange all these things over the peer-to-peer networks. So if you are using peer-to-peer networks, you need to establish the TCP connections. So if you will utilize the TCP connections, that will be like your semi-permanent connections. You can use that connection. Once you have done with the message and acknowledgement, it will delete automatically or stop automatically. Now the BGP message will have some of the message format. The first one is like open. So what will happen? What will happen in your open? It will open the TCP connection to remote BGP peer, and it will authenticate to the next peer to send the message. Because whenever we will send any message from one host to another host, if it is a peer-to-peer connectivity, we used to call it as first peer, and the next one will be second peer. So the connectivity TCP connection has to be established in between the two peers, and then the first BGP peer is going to send the packets to the next BGP peer. Then one more keyword is there, that is update. If you want to update your advertisement with a new path, or if you want to withdraw your old one, or if you want to update with the new one, by using this update, you can do that. One more is there, keep alive. So if you want to make the connectivity alive, because you have not received any kind of your acknowledgement for the open request, so you can utilize this keep alive, and you can make it alive till you will receive the acknowledgement. One more is there, that is known as your notification. In notification, it will notify you all the errors or bugs of the previous message if it has been received anything. Once it will send you all kinds of notification, then the connection will get closed. So this is all about your BGP message. Now you can see this BGP path advertisement. We have already discussed about this. Here two way I have used and send the packets or datagrams. Here another way I have used and I have sent the datagrams. So here by using the iBGP and eBGP, I can send. Once it will reach over this network, by using the local link interfaces, it can send a message to 1A or 1D or 1B anywhere. Okay, so here also they will have the cost of the nodes and the links, and by using all that, it is going to send. So here, if you want to do the forwarding table, you can write the destination was suppose 1C, and which interface it has been used. It has been used the 1. So this here we are going to use the OSPF concept, that is the intra-domain routing concept, and we have to make the table in the database. Okay, suppose if you are going to receive at 1D, okay, here, so here what you have received in the here you have got the datagram as X. So here it has to be X, and what is the interface name over here? That is 1. So you are going to write 1. So it depends in that way. So if you want to write for 1A, the forwarding table, you can see. So here you have to write 1C. What is the interface here has been written? 2. And if you want to write for 1A, what is the datagram you got? That is your X datagram you got, and it is used the interface 2. If in the same way you can write for others. Now, why it is different from your intra and inter AS routing? What all are the policies are there? Why it is going to be different? So here the inter AS routing and intra AS routing. In inter AS routing, the admin wants to control over all the network, and if there is any traffic where the packets will take some different route to travel, that all the things control will be under your admin. But in intra AS, only there will be the single admin, okay, for all the networks. But here there will be multiple admins for the particular networks. So here there will be no issues, because as it has been maintained by a single admin. As here it is a multiple admins for different networks, it will have always the traffic congestions. So how you are going to scale it out? So you have to use a hierarchical routing table, and you have to update all the traffic notifications, like which packets are reaching and at what time they are reaching, which route they have taken. If you have introduced all these things towards this, then it may in this inter AS routing, the traffics may get less. And how the performance will be, if I will consider about the performance for both the things, in my inter AS policy, in inter AS policy, always it will dominate over the performance. It cannot like with the performance, because always the traffic will be there. And but in your intra AS routing, always it can focus with the performance. It will have the good performance. Here one more routing thing is that the funny name, that is hot potato routing. So here what will happen is you will have always a link cost over here. So here you can see the weightage of the links, that is your OSPF link weights. So here some of the weights has been given. So if you are sending the packets like this from here, you can see from here also it can send to over here, right? So if you are going to do the connectivity, then from here how it will link towards 2D, you can see here by using eBGP, AS3X will reach over here. And in this side, as already AS3 has been reached to your already it has been reached towards your directly towards your 1C. So what will happen? It will merge with AS1 and AS2 and it is going to send. Okay, so that is another thing to see it, how it is going to be sending the messages. Now what is the next one? Here you can see in hot potato routing, always it will choose the local gateway to send the message or to send the datagram. And also it will be very leastly use the intra-domain cost. Okay, so what will happen? The 2D will choose 2A, okay, and it will hop towards your X. So here what will happen? The cost of each of the factor will not measure that much, because in this it will just have, see this side also it got some of the links and this side also it got the some of the links. Whenever it will reach fast, it will choose that kind of gateways. So it depends on the link weights, how it is going to utilize. Okay. So now moving towards your next slide, here I have shown you that how you are going to achieve the policy via your advertisements. So here this kind of networks, whatever you can see, that is your provider network, and these things are your customer networks. So here what will happen, the ISP only wants to send all the datas, or it wants to send all routes, all the datas from your customer network. So it don't want to carry all the traffics, because if it will send through this, maybe it will choose a route wherever there will be the traffic. So it doesn't want that. So it has to achieve the policy also, it is going to advertise also. So that time how it is going to send, see here in this network, if it has to send, then the advertisement will be AW towards this and towards this. Okay, if you are going to send. So now what will happen? The B will choose like if that depends on the B and C, they will accept or deny. If suppose B denies that I don't want to utilize this advertisement, so what will happen? The customer C and A, they can send towards your X and Y. So what will happen? The C will not learn that how you are going to send it towards your B, because it will not get any data from the B. Okay, so in this way you have to route the data and you have to achieve the data towards your advertisement. So here you are going to route in this way and you are going to send the values. So if you want to go for the more about this, so here what will happen? That is the reason we have provided the ABC as provider networks, and this X, W and Y will work like your customers. So whenever customers for particular this A, B and C. So whenever want to send any kind of networks, or you want to attach any kind of networks, you can do by using the policy to enforce. Okay, by using the policy that is known as policy to enforce. So here the X does not want to route from B to C. If X does not want to route from B to C, that is his choice. Okay, so X will not advertise towards your B to C. That is a choice of individual customers through which they want to be advertised. Okay, so now here the last slide of this. So this is known as your BGP route selection, how you are going to select the route of your BGP. Here what will happen? First you have to select the local preference, or you have to check it out all the policies, the attributes, and then you are going to check the local preference values. Then you have to find out all the shortest path like AS path. Then you are going to find out the next hop right router, and if you have any additional criteria, then you are going to add all that things. So in this way, you have to select all the BGP routes and you are going to send the datagrams from one place to another. So this BGP can come for your exam as 8 marks of question, direct question. You need to write all informations, whatever I have provided you now through the slide. If you will write according to the slide, then definitely you can achieve the marks.